the Malian Armed Forces. It's like a live video, right? The Malian Armed Forces are on a counter offensive, right? And more so, in that counter offensive, they were able to neutralize. But the video was not so long. After neutralizing the jihadists, the Malian Armed Forces continued. And in another different video, again, that I saw, you could see two bikes on the ground, right? Already. And you could see the Malian soldier, you could see his boots just stepping on the ground like that, and they were advancing. Now, the thing I have noticed about the Sahel is that the Sahelian forces, right, they are not maybe in their camp and they are moving. Most of the forces in the alliance of Sahel, they are already always, like from every video I've seen so far, there's a live video, they are always on the offensive. They are pursuing the jihadists. They are neutralizing them. I'll post the video this evening. You could see smoke all around the place. Those boys are working because they understand that the threat that is against them is not a threat of Muslim or Christian or whatever your denomination is. They know it's an existential threat against their state. If you've been watching our videos on this platform, you could see that this is not a problem that distinguish maybe you have beards and you have gone to Mecca or Medina. This is a problem against the African people. You can't differentiate what is going on in Sudan from what is going on in Niger. You can't differentiate. The level of escalation is just greater than, it's just greater than. And the reason why the level of escalation in the Sahel is not as dangerous as that you have in Sudan is because the Sahelian alliance have leaders that have great foresight, leaders that are honest, accountable. And these leaders are not just sitting on this thing and enjoying. They are on their toes, But you see the situation in Nigeria. There was this video I watched. Now, let me first of all tell you something. In Nigeria, right, it's hard for you to see an headline where they say the Nigerian armed forces, I'm talking about infantry, they launch a full-scale offensive. A full-scale offensive where they are perplexing the jihadists, and like let's say a 48 hours full-scale offensive, and we are getting updates in real time, and they continue. I've not seen it. The only thing you will hear, even when the soldiers come on you will hear that we were ambushed. You will hear things like we are under attack. There was one soldier that said once they hear the Bigu, they know that they are under attack. The Boko Haram is here for them. So the question is, what is the objective of Nigeria as a country? What is your intention against this existential threat that does not distinguish a Christian from a Muslim, that does not distinguish an old person from a baby? It's just that the Christian community has enough cojones to shout. I think the problem here is that majority of the people in the north and that are Muslim, I think once they bury, I think it's I think it's part of their thing to just accept it, like to Allah from we came and to him we return and all of those things, and they want to keep the respect of those that are already but the Christians shouted about the whole thing. They made I just think it's like different ways through which people conduct their things. See, this is a big problem, and if you are in any African nation, now that you are seeing what is going on in the Sahel, and you are not militarily preparing for what is coming, then you are wasting. You are playing. I'm telling you, the plan for Nigeria is not Christian or Muslim. If where you are not experiencing any devastating attack right now, it's just a matter of time. It's coming. I can guarantee you 100%. And now you go to X, you see a lot of terrorist apologists, people that will tell you, the DSS pick this up, do this one to that one, do this one. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you with my full chest, the plan does not distinguish who is this or who is that. The plan is to displace Nigerians. And let me now tell you, it is not internal displacement. Look, the reason why they are still displacing people internally now is because they've not gotten to the final phase of this project. The final phase, you will be externally Whoa, Africans, let me tell you something. The world is changing. And the people that control this whole thing knows that a time will come. What they have will not be able to sustain them. The only place where they would try to get this whole thing that can keep them running and their economy running is Africa. And Nigeria is one of those places where you have a lot of resources. Why do you think they are fighting in the Sahel? What is the project about? It's because of the Sahelian resources. Do you think they love the Sahelians so much? And it's because the Malian people are so loved. You think that is the reason why they are trying to come back to the Sahel? Why do you think they always want to, like, they are fighting Russia because of Burkina Faso, because of Mali? It is because of the resources that those people have. And that is the same thing with Nigeria. You can hear that they just opened one lithium mine of how many million of dollars in, is it Nasarawa? And the place is still under attack and projects are coming. Now, if you are an investor, do you go to a place? Will you put your money in a place where you have a sort of super kinetic act of terrorism? Will you want to put your project there? Let me just ask the people that are into real estate, is there any sense in building a real estate project in somewhere like Borno State, closer to the Sambisa forest? So the question I will ask you is that if a place is under attack, why would somebody bring a sort of industrial capability that has a very vast let me say profit turnaround? Why will you bring it to that kind of place? Shebi, they say the place is under serious attack. So why are these people still trying? You see, and look, the Nigerian situation, look, the networking of these people is enormously big. And you have some very chronically, I don't know what I will use for those type of Nigerians that think that this problem is about, oh God. See, let me just be honest with you, right? You have them on the media, you have them in every type of government and non-governmental parastatals. And I will tell you again, you see the NGOs in Nigeria, you cannot even count them. The NGOs in Nigeria, you cannot count them. The problem with Nigeria now is that you cannot even account. The accountability is so bad that you don't even know how to trace who was involved, how. Okay, they kidnapped some girls, right? They kidnapped some people, and some people were neutralized in the Kwara State attack. They've returned them. Fine. You could see that people are now jubilating. Oh, they've returned some of the kidnapped victims. Now, that is not how to address the root cause of a problem. Addressing the root, now they know that. Now I know that the family of the people that were abducted will be so happy, right? But this is like a narrative. It's like you are euthanizing people with narrative, making the dumb people even more dumber by telling them, oh, we've released them. When how did you release them? Did you negotiate? That is the place of accountability. How much did you pay? Did you pay on behalf of the citizens of this country? These are the things we want to hear, not that we've released. Because now you are standing in this is what it just means, right? It means that we have released them for you, right? But the jihadists can still come back and kidnap more people. That is what it means. But the only way you tell us that you rescued is we are seeing a complete military takeover of the whole place. You are showing us bodies. You are showing us what we need to see. That this was a true effort to rescue. You just want to come and tell us that we have rescued. How did you rescue them? Who made the call? How did you contact them? Who represented them? What type of situation? What type of environment are we, for God's sake? And you know the bad thing about Nigeria is that a black person will be checked. In your own country, you will be checked. You can't do anything without being checked. But you see, a white person does not need a national identity card. The skin, the skin alone, oh, pass, oga. Hmm? The security checkpoints, they will check and check and check and check. The police will wave down your vehicle. Oh, be a white person. Be an NGO. Have anybody seen NGO vehicles? Have you seen them move in Nigeria before? These people move in convoys of like 24/17. You see convoy, you'll be like, what's going on? And huge vehicles, right? Nobody even bothers to know what is inside those vehicles. That is the level. That's how porous these things are. Oh, you think the NGOs in Nigeria are different from the NGOs that are perpetrating evil in the Sahel? They are not different. They are not different. The agenda is same. That is why it bothers me when I see some Nigerians that they will see a picture on the social media. They will be like, hey, this happened in Burkina Faso. It's not in Nigeria. You think it won't touch you? In Kayama, in Barutin. I'm telling you now because I've been to all these places. In Saragi, in Sare, the JNIM are already there. The JNIM. When you hear JNIM, they are French machineries. Let's just be honest with ourselves. They represent the interest of France. They are already in Nigeria. You saw the video I posted yesterday. You see the two people that are meeting with each other. You see the two people that are already collaborating. The northern part of Ghana, where they have mines, right? Where they have natural resources. There are some people that are already doing illegal mining job. There now with machineries, armed machineries. You think you are free, Abi? You think you think because you are collaborating and conniving and all of that. This project is very, 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 very dangerous. This is a deadly project. And they've been planning this for a very, very long time. They've been planning this for a very, very long time. So this is just one face of it. This is one face of it. People who go to the mosque, they blow up the mosque. They go to the church. There is a video I cannot post on. I can't post that video. Have you saw that video now? I can't post that video on YouTube, but I'll try and post it on Telegram right now, so that you see the level of ferocity. So I mean, and the funny aspect is how, you know, measures are not being taken. You know, I can tell you with my full chest now that the situation in Nigeria is even much worse than that of Mali and Burkina Faso. But the funny thing is, you see on the mainstream media that the interest of the mainstream media is what is going on in the Sahel, but they are not even talking about what is going on in Nigeria, right? Do you think if 200 people get neutralized, 200 civilians, if they get neutralized in the Sahel, what do you think will happen on the social media? The whole social media will come down that day. It will look as if the whole place has paralyzed. But 200 people got neutralized in Yelewata. To them, it's like, oh, they're not talking about it. It's Nigeria now. They still have a democracy. It's okay. The double standard is extreme. And now at the end stage of the Nigerian project, you will see Maghrebs coming in. Don't worry. It's like majority of Nigerians are not ready to learn. They are not ready to learn, and you know, people learn the hard way. You will start seeing the Maghrebs coming in, then with a little touch of Arabs. This Hydra head is terrible, and that is the end stage where they will now turn on the remnant of the people that think, you people that are saying that this one is the ones that think that this project is about Christian Muslim. They will now turn on those ones at that point. And the end result is to send out the blacks. They will send whichever country you want to run to. And if you find out most Nigerians that are traveling out, most of them are not traveling out because of the economy. See, Nigerians are not even depending on the internal economy now. We are the ones making sure that the internal economy is going. The situation is economic. The economic situation of the country is absolutely disgusting. I'm telling you, most Nigerian youths now, they are doing freelancing jobs, different online jobs to make money. Majority, the civil service in Nigeria, the federal civil service, is about 20% of the whole Nigerian population. Less than 20% according to them. And the only time the political system of Nigeria made this known, that the civil servants in Nigeria, they are less than 20% of the population, that was when they wanted to cause a division between the civil servants of Nigeria and the main population of Nigeria. Because they were not doing what they were supposed to do, the civil servants went on strike, and the next thing they said was that, look, these people are trying to sabotage you people. See, the Nigerian politicians, right? Those guys are the devilish mindset is on a whole different level. Now they try to incite the main population against the civil servants. So they told them that the civil servants are just 20-something%. Don't mind them, right? And they're trying to sabotage you people. So maybe the civilians can start going against the civil servants. So what's the difference between the civilians and the civil servants? Are they not part of the same society? Look at the governor in Benue State. He said nothing is going on. There is no man. And the funny thing is that these people already bought their freedom. You know, most of them have real estate in the United States, some of them in the UK. Where did he rest finally? He was full citizenship in UK. Buhari died in UK, he didn't die in Nigeria. Huh? I'm telling you that majority of them, I have been with a politician before who was a friend of my dad that said I have an apartment in Boston. He said he has in Baltimore. He said he had in Philadelphia. He was mentioning different places that he has in Miami. Just one man who was at some point the Director General of National Sports Commission. At that time, he was the Director General of the National Sports Commission. In his left pocket, he had pounds. In his right pocket, he had dollars. In his back pocket, he had euro. He did not have naira. He was giving it to some very, very misinformed civilians. And once he gives it to them, they bow their head. The first place is that this is a man that is representing you people. A man that bought 7 Range Rover, no, I think 7 Range Rover in one day and distributed it to girlfriends. I was there. I wasn't told. So, and you will see the same people will still vote for this person the next time. Nigerians are the major contributing factor to what is going on now. The fact that you still have a large population that will still vote for this same regime that has failed completely. See, let me tell you something. Don't tell us about the economic improvement of Nigeria. Don't tell us. The objective of the government is to secure the lives of civilians in this country. That is the #1 objective. We don't mind staying in Nigeria till all the cows come home. The only objective, in fact, if you have a government, just one government, that they can guarantee safety, we can see in real time that, man, these guys are demilitarizing these terrorists. But what you hear is repentant Boko Haram that is being incorporated into the army, incorporated into the civil service, incorporated in that even a soldier came out and said that a repentant terrorist can become your president. That's how bad it is. So when I look at the Nigerian situation, to be honest with you, it's super diabolic. When you hear the word diabolic, El Diabolical. That's the situation of Nigeria. You know, and it's a sorry sight, honestly. And that's why I support the Sahel. You know, you can't make this stuff up. You can see that. Let me tell you the difference between Nigeria and the Sahel, so that you would know that, look, Nigerians are just doing a paint. The mainstream media, they are painting, they are doing a facade, right, in the Sahel, before civilians are attacked, before civilians even come in contact with those demons. It takes, I've not heard it in the past. I've not heard it in many months. Even if it happens, the cases are very, very minimal. But in Nigeria, it is the civilians that get on the line of contact with the jihadists. It is the civilian. I'm telling you, to the point that now you now have civilians saying that they want to go and get guns by themselves. So you should know that, yes, the whole situation has failed. Now people saying they want to go to church with their guns. That's what we are hearing now. Now this is only, I will show you a video. I'll post it on my Telegram straight away now. Once I'm done with this live, I will post it on my Telegram so that you can see the massacre in that church. This is the latest one. You will see different cars outside. It was a Sunday service. I will post it. There's nothing to hide. The first thing you will see is a woman. That woman is already, you know. And same goes for any other religion. Even the ones that are not Christians and Muslims, they are posting it as we speak. They were executing them based on Islamic Sharia law. And I will still tell you, right? This is complete terrorism. This is complete terrorism. This has nothing to do with your religion. But they know that the religious card always works in Nigeria. Abdurrahman Chiani is a Muslim. Ibrahim Traore is a Muslim. Right? Assimi Goita is a Muslim. But what is going on in the Sahel? Are they rehabilitating terrorists? Are they negotiating with the terrorists? Are the terrorists even bold in the Sahel? What you see is that they are using different recon drones. Look at how they are tracking the terrorists in the Sahel. A Nigerian journalist once asked, I think the Air Force chief, that they noticed that in the Sahel, they drop bombs on these terrorists and all of that. Then what he said is that one of those bombs is $1,000 plus. And he said that would be too expensive for them to manage. That $1,000 for how many people? So to them, you know, the lives of the citizens is not worth that $1,000 is too much to protect the citizen. I hate this word that the terrorists are Nigerians too. And they, you know, when you hear some actors talk in this country, you will be shocked to your marrow. And that is how bad it is. And the civilians don't understand that they're the victims here. That's the painful aspect of it. Recently, where did Sheikh Gumi go? They all traveled out. They went to the Arabian states when the situation was getting tough, right? And if the worst comes, if heaven falls, that is how they will go. They have the financial resources. Most of them already have houses. Most of these people, their families are even there already. So they don't care about the end result. It is the common civilians, you that you cannot decide instantaneously now that you want to leave the country, and you have the financial capability to leave. Thank you very much. Nigeria has so much oil. See, and their currency has no value, almost zero. A dollar is 1,440 naira in Nigeria. Nigeria is now at a state where you cannot buy anything, any reasonable thing, with 100 naira. 100 naira. 100 Nigerian naira. The storyline used to be different. They have lithium, they have Nigeria has almost all. Nigeria has uranium. Nigeria has almost anything you can talk about. Limestone to anything. Nigeria has it. Yes, that's. Thank you very much. Asimi Goita, Chiani, and all of them, they are Muslims. Abdoulaye Diop, Muslim. Maiga, Muslim. These guys are Muslim. They are dedicated Muslim. Look at Abdurrahman Chiani. But the question you should ask, they are not rehabilitating. They are not negotiating. They are confronting this existential threat. If you hear the people that have the deep intelligence, they will tell you this is not about your religion. This is about battering the black population to the ground. You've heard many times Bill Gates saying that the problem, the population of Nigeria is a problem. The problem is, you will hear Bill Gates say that the problem, how can the population of Nigeria be a problem? Can anybody just make this make sense? And Bill Gates tells you that the population of this country is a problem and they must find a way to reduce the population of Nigeria. And you see all the things going on. And you think this is a joke. To regain the narrative in Nigeria, right? To regain the narrative in Nigeria, both Christians and Muslims, like every Nigerian, need to seriously put their hands on the deck. First of all, right, is that you need to be able to bully the bullies on media. Everywhere you see them, you need to be able to bully them into such an extent where they panic to even say anything. But you know the problem, right? The problem is that the people that you people have empowered, let me now educate Nigerians very well now. The people you follow that you've empowered, they've been bought. You don't know how this thing works. It's a network now. Once you have so certain followers, they buy you out. Because now you have the power to control a large bunch of people, and they educate people on, they educate these big bloggers, right? They educate them on how to twist the narrative in such a way that even their followers will not suspect that that's what they are doing. Yeah. Yeah. So the problem now is that they've infiltrated the government they've infiltrated everywhere. So you will hear some soldiers who come on some mainstream on some blogs, and they will tell you they had the Fulanis on site, and they will just tell them ceasefire. You will hear that they will just receive a call and they say release him. You ask the question, why is it that sometimes they capture these jihadists and the next thing you will hear is that you should free them? Who gave the order? From where is it coming from? So you see, the situation of Nigeria, let me just be honest, let me be plain. The situation is sick. It's sick. So there's no ducking this smoke. Nigeria is not going to duck this. It's going to look the situation. Let me ask you now. Let me ask you. Has the situation gotten better? Have you even had a month in this country now where you don't receive bad news? Not from accident. You understand? Accidents can happen. Car accident or whatever. Have you gotten a month where you don't hear something? The jihadists making headline in Nigeria. They are always making headlines. They own the headline. And the people that are still in Nigeria that wants to tell the truth, they face some sort of certain type of persecution or the other. So it's a long war, and I can only try my best. who will bring about the fiscal federalism? Who will solve the problem of the Nigerians? Nigerians are divided among themselves by tribes. Even within that same tribe, they still hate themselves. Go and find out very well. This is not even if you now say Nigeria, if you address Nigerians based on tribes, even within those tribes that they are talking about, there's still division. So Nigerians just need to educate themselves. You see, the biggest problem of Nigeria is that Nigerians don't know history. Nigerians don't know history. And let me just tell you another thing. Majority of the Nigerian influencers, go and look at what they do online. You see that they are fighting. You see that they are talking about frivolities. You see that they are talking about women, the car they just bought. Go and look at all of them completely. Go and look at all of them. Nobody educates the coming generation. It's all giving them false hope, giving them pipe dreams. How they bought GLE, how you are going to buy GLK. Like, man, the country is on the ground already. It can, man. So this is just what I just noticed. And you saw the G20. You saw Shetima and Emmanuel Macron. Can't you get it? There's JNIM in Nigeria already, right? Everything in the country is compromised. It's not just even if they go to the regional government or whatever they talk about, it will still be compromised. You understand? Everything is compromised in this country. Even your place of work, is it not compromised? I'm hated in my office because I hate the people that even... Do you know that there are people that Nigerians will come like this and they are in trouble? You can see that the reason why you're even there in the first place is to serve Nigerians, right? But the way they attend to Nigerians, oh man, look, Nigeria it was a country. Yeah, that's just what I can say. The civilians themselves are, Nigerians need to... Man, the situation is just... if you try to encourage Nigerians to wake up and it's just like you're wasting your time. Go and look at the people that tell the truth in Nigeria. Where are they? Where are they? Nnamdi Kanu that got sentenced to life imprisonment, right? His conduct in the Nnamdi Kanu's conduct in the courts right there was not fair, right? I can say that he put himself in that situation. He actually put himself on the rope. But I can tell you, right, everything that took Nnamdi Kanu to that court, right, was something that somebody else might have done and go away with it. Nnamdi Kanu said the absolute truth about Nigeria. But, he says things in an aggressive way. He's an aggressive personality. But you can't deny that guy is a leader. You can't deny that. I'm not an Igbo person. I don't have any business. Look, and get this again. ANDRADE is not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I don't worship. I don't go to an herbalist. I don't do any of those things. And that's why I'm able to see the root cause of all this problem. I was born in Afikpo in Ebonyi State. I grew up in Ondo State. I schooled in Rivers State. I've been to the core north. I spent a lot of my life in Kwara State. I've been to Kano State in Bichi. When I see a northerner, I have a northern a Kanuri I'm about to bring on this platform now. He's going to tell you what he grew up in, the old Boko Haram situation. Their dad had to escape them from there to Lagos. I'm going to bring the guy on my live stream so that you people can hear from him. I am friends with the Igbos. When people see me, it's only when I wear this cap that they call me a Yoruba, right? Some people will say I resemble Hausa and all of that. I don't discriminate anybody. I see all Nigerians the same way I see all of them. And I pity them when I see them. When I see Nigerians, right, my heart quakes sometimes. When I'm at work, even when I'm sick, right, I still attend to patients the best way. My colleagues were looking at me as if I was sick once upon a time like that. I think last week. A woman was crying because his son had a stage 3 carcinoma, right? And it has started extravasating. It was an aggressive one. So I was, we were about to do some want to redirect them to go and do immunohistochemistry. And I saw the woman crying, and I had to encourage her and tell her that, no, don't worry, this would, we'll find a way out of this. And I hugged her, and I was consoling her. You understand? Some people were like, they don't know that is part of your responsibility. You are there, see that you went to school, that you studied medicine or you studied whatever course. The only pride you have is to be able to use that thing to help your people. That's the only reasonable thing you can do with that certificate you came with. When I see Nigerians, most especially in the hospital, I nod my head a lot of times. It is one disease. It's another disease. That is another aspect. That's just the medical aspect. Then you have the problem of terrorism. And you have these politicians that have bastardized them to a point that I'm telling you, this next election, they are still going to collect money. They are still going to vote for APC. And the thing is well organized. It's a well organized crime. Let's not even call this thing. It's a crime already. The poverty has been weaponized. The dollar was intentionally, you see this situation of Naira dollar, it was an intentional thing. And during election, they will be able to buy people for shit. They will be able to buy people's allegiance for shit. Even though this terrorism situation is escalating. When that time for election is getting closer, you see what will happen. All of a sudden, you will just notice that the attack just... During election, you don't hear that there's any abduction or whatever. No, everything will just subside. So what happened? What happened during those times? And after the whole thing is complete, everything starts again. So this is going to be a long show. You understand? It's going to be a very, very long show. So in Nigeria, I'm just telling you how bad it is for you to be honest. You understand? I have people that hate me, even in my place of work, because when they want to act corrupt, I'll be like, man, there was a particular one, right? The patient told the person that I am going to pay because I know that. The patient said that I know that is the normal thing. You understand? That's how much Nigerians have been Nigerians have been neutral. They've been euthanized to the point that the patient came saying that I know, to a government hospital, saying that I know that that's the normal thing. Don't worry, I will pay. I told the patient, don't ever repeat that statement again. I'm going to attend to you, and you're not going to pay this fool here. You are not, because I don't understand. And you think that person I just stopped from getting that money, whoever. Yes, I see that they greet me, they still try to be body, but I know that they don't like me. I was still in the hospital, yes, even though we are on strike, I still complained about another thing yesterday. So that is within, so you now want to address. The problem of Nigeria is that the corruption has eaten so deep. A place where a pastor will say you will get a miracle car, you will get a miracle house. Nobody is preaching on hard work, dedication, and honesty. No, it's not Nigeria. No. So that's the problem, right? That's the problem. And to be honest with you, the politicians are the product of the state itself. See, get it? The politicians are the product of the community. So the problem is like from the roots to the branch, to the trunk, to the branch, to the leaves. So it's a deep problem. So when I see the kids, when I see little kids, right, I shed tears. They don't need to search for any girl. They just need to look. I'm telling you, this is There is this aim they are trying to achieve, right? And I'm telling you, as soon as they accomplish that objective, somebody will just call somebody and they will return the girls. They said they rescued the girls, right? Did they neutralize anybody? You just hear suddenly that they got, who called who? You understand? Who called who? For all the girls that have been kidnapped, I can tell you, somebody will only make a call and they will return everybody back. See, Nigerian situation is deeper than it is. So when I don't talk about the Nigerian situation, right, or whenever I talk, I'm telling you, every time I talk about Nigeria, I fall sick. You saw that my own NASA congestion, headache, everything started after I talked about that church, this thing. I became completely destabilized. That's why I'm happy to talk about the Sahel, right? Identity, recognize identity. To solve the Nigerian problem is a long problem. You need somebody that is ferocious. You need somebody that loves Nigerians in a very, very hard way. You can't love Nigerians in a soft way. I'm telling you. Even if you try to be honest, you will be the main target. That's how you see the government. I'm telling you, the reason why the government of Nigeria is they are treating Nigerians this way is that even the government knows that, man. No, try to understand now. I'm telling you, the government will just be looking at everything and they'll be laughing. To even be honest with Nigerians is I'm telling you what happens, right? In the lowest, at the lowest level. At the lowest level is always somebody trying to manipulate somebody. Peter Obi is too soft. Yes. I'm telling you, you need somebody that is ready, right? I'm telling you now, the only presidential candidate Nigeria needs now is not Tinubu, is not Atiku, is not Peter Obi, is not Shogore. Nigeria needs somebody that is decisive, somebody that has a dangerous mind but loves Nigerians. Because to purge the problem in Nigeria, the mainstream media will make it look as if Nigeria is about to crumble. To solve the problem in Nigeria, and you need somebody that must be able to reconcile the entire region, and that reconciliation must be done with some of the most extreme measure. You can't reconcile Nigeria because you have this side saying that that entitlement mentality is there at different level. You bring people that have credibility, that have good track record, and you must even be very, very tough on those people because anybody can backslide at any time. There must be zero tolerance for the small, and you have to be showing instantaneous judgments. Like, it's not this one that you try to. Nigeria, the problem in Nigeria is that there is a lot of compromise. People want to be politically correct. People want to, no. I'm telling you, Nigerians will fall in place once they have that leader that is extremely ferocious. Somebody like Shehu Gumi, you go after him with all capability, you block all border. Anywhere he escapes from, everybody there will be dealt with. Then you will see what will happen. But too many compromise. And that kind of leader will start having problem from day one. You won't even get there. So you need somebody that can behave like Vladimir Putin. Very quiet, nobody knows your objective. You have to mingle with the ones that are already in the power quartet. They will try to get rid of that person. Exactly. They will try to get rid of that person. In fact, overtly and covertly, whatever means. The problem of Nigeria is deep. You can't help it. You can't. You have to be ready to die, like I said earlier. To save this country, you have to be ready. And you have to have a sort of... you have to be ready and you have to be dangerous on your own too. but you have to love Nigerians above everything. And you have to be very, very quick to update the Nigerians. You are going after a criminal, this is what the person has done. You have to make sure the first people you are accountable to and you report to is the Nigerian, and you go after the person immediately. If you say you want to do anything in this country, or like you want to keep it calm and all of that, no, you can't succeed. They will rather neutralize you early on. They will neutralize you early on. So it's a deep problem. You can see the kind of confrontation the Sahelian alliance are facing now that they want to create a system that can work. They are getting results. You can see how the media, you can see how every tools in the toolbox are being used against them. Now imagine if somebody now wants to come and save Nigeria. God of mercy. In the Sahel, do you know how many NGOs are there? That you can see that we started hearing the way they were removing all of them one by one. Even Red Cross, NI something. Different NGO, those people even exposed the NGOs more than ever. Now imagine how many NGOs are in Nigeria. So, man, I don't know. I don't know. Nigeria is like somebody that the structure of Nigeria is like you are living in a broken building, but they are just keeping it with thread. When the building is going to fall, it's going to fall heavy. So what we are just getting now is like little product of the bad structure. You can't repair that structure. You can't. Nigeria is supposed to be that joint that articulates the entire West Africa. So, but it is what it is, Sha. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. So, I mean, that's why whenever I talk about this country, I fall sick. That's why you see that Muritala Mohammed was the only Nigerian president to help Nigeria become free from globalists. Yes. See, let me tell you something. To solve the Nigeria problem, like I said, you yourself, you have to be ready to, you already know before you go for that presidential term that you will be a sacrificial lamb, but you have to transform from being a lamb, you have to become a goat. You understand? A lamb cannot rule Nigeria. You have to know that, yes, so I am going to, you have to transform. You know, you were a sacrifice, you have to be a goat. And you have to make sure that everything you are doing, the citizens are seeing it. And you have to drop your salary. See, there's a lot of things there's a lot of confrontation that will go with it. You have to drop the cost of governance. Now, to drop the cost of governance means that you have to go to war with the politicians. That's another problem on its own. And so many political positions, political offices need to be chopped off. You go heavy on corruption. A lot of things has to be changed. Then you collaborate with people the country has never collaborated with before. Militarily, industrially, people must be seeing results on the ground. There are so many multinationals, there are so many international organizations in Nigeria that are doing things that Nigerians don't even know about. Imagine a country of 300 million people, and they are having this type of security problem. And I'm laughing because I see the solution to the Nigeria problem, but the solution is deep, it's difficult. You understand? It's difficult. If they see that you are trying to be too honest, they try to buy you out. If they see that you can't be bought out, then that's the carrot session is gone. Then they will have to come. So the solution to the Nigerian problem is that the youth themselves, they have to lift a candidate by themselves. The Nigerian youth, all of them will have to. In fact, you have to be the one to pay the youth. We will be the one to pay everything that gets the ticket, everything. The youth will be the one to raise that person. And the youth will now promise themselves that this election, we are going to vote you beyond the scale of tribalism and everything. That is the only, you see all these people that are coming out in different parties. Oh no, it's the same organization organizing themselves for the same aim. I can tell you, there is a party you will see here, but that party is a party that is dividing the strength of another party just to make sure that their own candidates come out on top. So the ones that are going to suffer from the consequence, right, of this whole problem now is the youth. Look at the people that are governing you. They are all about to die, right? It's the youth that will suffer. It's the future of the Nigerian youth that is being toyed with right now. And the youths they are not getting it. They are not getting it politically. They are not getting it. A lot of youth are not interested in politics. Most of them are watching football. Most of them are watching frivolities online, fake realities. Who converted iPhone XR to iPhone 17? Who beat who inside a plane? Nigerians are totally distracted. Totally distracted. And the people that are now interested in their politics are the most mentally unstable set of people. Now they are getting the result on the line. So if Nigerians want to get out of this, the youths of Nigeria need to wake up politically. The youths, I'm talking about the youths. And they have to grow beyond the history. They are telling you one war that happened. You were not there. See, the problem is deep, right? So for anything to happen now, there will be somebody, or the Nigerian youths must actively, first of all, try to reconcile themselves. Reconcile within, among yourself. There must be reconciliation. Instead of celebrating Salah, instead of celebrating Christmas, what you all must be celebrating is reconciliation. You must be reconciling among yourself. In your place of work, you must reconcile among yourself. You must reconcile among yourself. And you must see, your humanity has to grow beyond your religion. It has to outgrow religion. A lot of people can die for religion, but you don't have no humanity in you. So what religion are you even practicing? Like I said, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim. I don't see, I fear religion. Because most of the biggest problem you have on the planet now, if it's not religion that is causing this problem, is maybe ethnicity or something. Maybe it's race. So you have to grow out of this whole thing. You have to try to see. I love the Christians, I love the Muslims. They have both good side and they have bad side. So for anybody that wants to say that the Muslims are equally very dangerous, how was Christianity given to people? Can anyone tell me how Christianity was given to people? It has just been changed now. Christianity came to Africa through brute force, bloodshed. During the time of the Crusaders, they purged people with fire. No, a lot of people don't understand that. Look, so there is no saint in this old drama. But people have to learn to be Pan-Africanist because you are African. And your humanity has to outgrow everything. You have some jobs now you cannot get if you are not a Muslim. You have some jobs you cannot get if you are not a Christian in a country. So there is nothing like credibility again. There is nothing like competence. He's a Muslim, let him be there. A country of almost 300 people that could not qualify for the World Cup. It is because the players, some like Osimhen now, he merits it. But I can tell you there are still people in Nigeria that are better than Osimhen. But because they don't know who knows who, I can tell you that majority of the players in that team is either they have the money and they, or somebody just said, please, my candidate, I want him to be in that team. It's a messed up situation. So that is just what it is, It's what it is. So I think the only hope now in Africa currently as we speak, the South Africans are equally facing their own problem too. The white South Africans, they have a very, very nasty work waiting for the black South Africans. So the earlier the South Africans wake up, the better for them. The better for them. See, this whole problem. When you look at Mozambique, you know that the Islamic State has already got IS Mozambique. It's already there already. So if this thing has not gone into you, it's just extravasating bit by bit. If there were scriptural page in the Bible that could back up extreme and enormous level of genocide, it would have been, Christians would have been the one on the receiving end of this whole criticism now. But when they look at Islam, they look at it that there are some aspects that they can quote that can really back up their agenda. That's why. So it's not maybe Muslims hate this one. It's not. No, it's some group of people that want to. It's the globalists. I don't know if you get it. Go and look at it now. Everywhere, when the Israelis wanted to do what they did in Palestine, you know, at some point you had Netanyahu saying that their father Moses told them that this and that. So you have to be aware that this look, imagine that Nigeria did not have religion, right? How did Tinubu got to power? He got to power because he used Muslim ticket. So these things are just tools that has already been created from the very start to continuously, you know, confuse the people that they see as subhumans to them. So if the Europeans can call Russians, if they can call them orcs, if they can call them ogre, you saw that Emmanuel Macron called Vladimir Putin an ogre. If they tell you that the Russians are less of humans compared to them, what do you think they think of black people? So you think this thing is about Christian and who cares about that? So when I see, yes, you know, and they know you will get emotion now since he's Muslim, and can you imagine a religion that you don't even know where it came from? Who speaks Arab in Nigeria? Who was born in this Nigeria, and you know the language he speaks is Arabic? They beat people to stupor in their Islamic school for them to learn KU and all of those things they learn just to be able to understand it. Is it your language? The language of the Bible is not even the English you read. It was transliteration, I understand. These things, I don't know. That's not why I'm here actually. But why I'm here is that the situation that we are right now is desperately evil. And we need to get ourselves out of this situation. And to get out of this situation, it means our humanity has to go beyond every type of tools they are using to manipulate. And for the situation of Nigeria to be rescued, look, the Sahel, their situation have been battled to a very good position. I'm telling you, they've understood the objective. And the only way they can go is forward, no matter the threat that is going to face those people. It's a war. There will be casualties on both sides. The people understand the reality already. But you see this one of Nigeria, that they are still trying to use cement to patch it up, and this one here, that one there. And we have Nigerian Christians now that we hate them. You know, everybody is now trying to get guns and all of that. That is not the problem. Everybody getting guns will even fasten the objective. I know everybody needs to protect themselves, but if it escalates to that level, then you will see the real genocide. And that is the objective. The objective is to wipe that population out, displace the few ones that are left, or suppress them and turn them to slaves within their territory. I don't know if a lot of people understand this thing. I don't know if I'm speaking. I don't know if I'm communicating to somebody. Please stop thinking that this is... I'm not a political person. I'm not. I don't have interest. I don't have interest. I'm not a political... Look, I don't like any politics thing. I don't like it at all. If I left to me, it could have... I love something that looks like a monarchical system or a system. Look at Vladimir Putin. Nobody has interest in the political... Is Russia not working? He's there. All you need... See, leaders are not born every 4 years. They are not born every... Look at Xi Jinping. He has been there. Let the person that can do it, let him be doing it. Everybody continue to think about development, build up programs that can develop the mind of the youth they on board. When I see kids, I'm happy. When I see people giving birth to children, I'm happy, because your capacity as a country is improving. Do you know how strong Nigeria should be? But a lot of people don't understand this project. One way or the other, a lot of people don't understand that you are helping to prop up the intentions of the globalists. The plan was to depopulate Nigeria. Can't you collaborate what Brigade said with what is going on? How are the terrorists getting GPMGs? Kai. You hear that people that even buy guns, that have access to guns, that can buy freely, they want to shoot it, it's jamming. Have you heard that a Boko Haram gun jam before? Have you heard that a bandit gun jam before? So who is helping them to always, repair, maintain? Who is helping them to do everything? So the drone capability just got introduced in Ukraine, and now you have the terrorists using fiber optic drone. Do you know that the fiber optic drone came at a point when the FPV drone started failing? They started using electronic warfare to stop the FPV drone. Then they went for the fiber optic, which is even more dangerous and decisive. And the terrorists had it almost instantaneously. Okay. Either you like it or not, right? The agenda of the globalists is working like a clockwork. The intention is to depopulate the black community, to extinguish the blacks. Okay, let me tell you something. Even if you travel out of your country, you go to another country there, your children, they are still going to be under the rule of the white community. Look at how they arrest black people. Look at how they are being treated. The Sahel is giving all Africans hope. I'm telling you. So you say you have a continent. To them, that continent should just be like a plain field where they can just share that region, that field right there, where you have gold right there, is our home. They don't want to have you there. No, you don't have to be there. They don't need you on that land. And that land is your land. So get it. They don't need you there. They don't need you to be there. They can just put some securities, just put military bases, and just have lands that people have lived before. Have it as like, okay, that's our minefield. That gold field right there belongs to us. That uranium right there belongs to China. That is this one zone. That's that one zone. You understand? So they don't need people to be there. So that's why you see that terrorism has never stopped there. How many European nations do you have terrorism? How? Osama bin Laden noticed what their intentions were. That was why Osama bin Laden started turning against them. And what did he do after? They neutralized him. He has been used before. Don't get it twisted. He has once been. Everybody you see that they go against did not just come up from the blue. They've used that person somewhere, some way, somehow to fulfill their agenda. So this is not even a Fulani agenda. So go and get it now. This is not a Fulani agenda. They are just being used because they don't have education. Why did they target the Fulani as the main tribe they can use? They know that these people lived in the bush all their life. They don't have access to health care or whatsoever. So that is like a body right there. All you need to do is just to break down that body and rebuild that body. Reintroduce, oh God. So that body completely becomes a tool. Okay, they give money to them. Are they buying jets with that money? Are the Fulani buying houses with that money? No, those are tools right there. Those are tools right there. So it's a deep problem. It's a deep. You can see that Donald Trump said he wants to come to Nigeria, guns are blazing, right? Oh man, the escalation will be beyond control, right? There will be introduction of arms. There will be the aim at the end of the day, right, is to depopulate you. That is the objective, to depopulate you. So tell me one place in Nigeria now that is safe. Can anybody tell me? Don't worry, if it has not touched you, it's just a matter of time to touch everybody. It will touch everybody. Now, the leaders that have been paid, they know the objective. Have you seen the convoy of a minister move before? Have you seen how many security will be attached to one place? So instead of using that security to guide the people, they are now using it for themselves. Because if it escalates beyond measure, their own objective is just to get out of the country. They're giving them citizenship. Some of these people know what the plan is. Now, the plan is not an internal plan. It's not a within Africa type of plan. No. It's a plan of the globalists. Osama was a tool. Then when he deviated from the objective, he had to be taken out of the picture. There is a deep state behind all these things. So, they know what is going on. You can see that Donald Trump said that they are killing Christians. And the killing just intensified on the Christians. Let me tell you something. The killing intensified on the Christians so that military intervention can happen. And when that military intervention happens, somebody's intention will be fulfilled. And that is to depopulate. See, the essence of all this thing is depopulation. At the end of the day, families are going to be hurt. At the end of the day, people are going to remain lifeless after that intervention. And when a charge of maybe hydrogen bomb or FAB or maybe they tease it up with a tomahawk or and if the situation gets so bad, there is no type of capability that these people will not be ready to drop on anybody in Africa. Do you think they see Africans as humans? So please, the problem that we have right now is a complete level of infiltration. And like I said, Nigerians, don't vote. For you to say you want to have a government now, if you are a Nigerian listening to me, it's not for you to go and remain under APC or one ADC. Look at it, the same people moving from one party to the other. You people have to do something amongst yourself. If not, and you have to outgrow the canopy of religion. Are pastors not lying now? Are you not seeing it for yourself? You have some pastors saying the truth. You have majority of them lying because they've been paid. God. So, by the time a lot of you get what is going on, it will be too late. Oh, it will be too late. It will be too late by the time a lot of people know that, okay, this is the truth. And that is the painful thing. You tell people the truth, they don't know, they don't listen to the truth until it is too late. And, they can't count on the politicians. They have to bring somebody out by themselves. The Nigerian youths need to bring somebody, need to raise somebody from that ash. You have to raise somebody from the ashes by yourself. And you people as the youth of Nigeria have to tell whoever that this is our candidate and this is who we want to vote for. That person is not Peter Obi. How long does Peter Obi? How old is Peter Obi? You have to bring somebody that is young. The last time the Nigerian political system worked, that was when all these Obasanjo and the rest, they were very young. They were in 33, they were 36, they were 34. That's the only way forward. You say you want to go and vote for Atiku. You go and look at Atiku's past. You need a young person that is not calm. You see, so you think somebody like Traore can be threatened? Or you think Assimi Goita can be threatened? When you see the way those guys move, there will be joy in your soul. Have you seen the footsteps of Assimi Goita before when he's walking? you know. And let me tell you something. These globalists cannot send their military to come directly to Mali because their population will not permit their children to come and die like that. So they use machineries on the ground. So their intention is to make a group of people or a community that is dumb, already dumb. They make them dumber. They seek control, you seek money. Don't you get it? Poverty was initially weaponized for them to get control. They continuously seek that control. You seek money. And what do you spend that money on? You spend it, whatever you spend that money on, you spend it, you still give that money back to them. You still give that, the car you buy, is it your country that produced that car? You still return that money back to them. So they have control. You are chasing money. So you have to know what the truth is. To save Nigeria, see, it is easy to save Nigeria. When you save Nigeria, when your objective is to help, see, when your objective is to protect, do you know how beautiful it will be to protect Nigerians? Please don't put lunatic in your political affair. Don't put them at the end of your political affair. Do you know what it is to represent Nigerians? But you know the problem of this country is that people have been so bastardized mentally that they will continue to do what is not right. A true president that is ready to govern Nigerians, we tell Nigerians to go and sleep in this moment. We tell Nigerians, go to bed and sleep, go to your church and go to your mosque. Then you go to full action. Why is Nigeria still discussing with the US? When there are other partners that can give them the capabilities they need. Don't let somebody come and speak to us as if we don't have knowledge of what the military is, or as if we don't know what warfare is all about. You have the capability. Do you think that there's a president that is ready to actively fight terrorism? And you tell the entire population of Nigerians that they should contribute to this fight. Now, let me tell you this. You don't need Nigerians to contribute in terms of human resources. You don't need Nigerians to get to the line of contact. You don't need them. You don't need to kill Nigerians. All you need is like join this fight whichever way you think you can join. Even if it's 1,000 naira, that the full 200 and something Nigerians contribute to the fight. Man, there are so many ways of destroying these people. You can employ chemical warfare. You can employ biological warfare. They say Sambisa forest. For how many years? Just one forest. Just one forest. You mean now that somebody will tell me now that that forest cannot be encircled? You cannot use FPV drone. See, when you hear one politicians earning 50-something million in a month, so how do you even fight effectively? How? The reason why the Sahel is fighting is because the leader themselves have actually even brought down their own salary. So tell me how you want to steal. You hear somebody stole trillions. People are stealing trillions in Nigeria. And they are coming out of it. So the problem is of different grades and class. You can't hold them accountable. So the problem of Nigeria will only be solved when the people are ready to get out of tribalism. First of all, you have to denounce. See, I'm telling you now, don't think about politics first in Nigeria. Think about how you are going to get out of looking at an Hausa person and looking at him as if it's a crime, as if it's not somebody created by God. Or you are a Yoruba, you are, and you know the problem, is the older generation that are transferring that hate to the younger generation. I know that a lot of things have happened, but you as a youth, if you want to survive, right, this whole thing that is going on, first of all, you have to get out of that encirclement of brainwashing, right? You have to see the next. See, your security is as capable as the security of the next person to you. There is a language that the first neighbor will be the one to protect the second neighbor. So don't see these people as if they are not your people. Do you understand what I'm saying? If the Sahel, the people in the Sahel can contribute, the citizens, how many are they in Burkina Faso? 23 or 24 million. How many are the people in Nigeria Republic? Do you know how many people you have in Nigeria? Out of that 200, let's say Nigeria is 300 million people, right? Out of that million of, do you know how many, let's say we contribute 1,000, all of us, do you know how many billions that would be? And I can guarantee you that if Nigeria has a transparent leader that is accountable and that is honest, and Nigerians can see the honesty, do you think there is no capability that Nigeria cannot afford? But the problem is, Nigerians are not, look, let me tell you this. First of all, for this to happen, Nigerian youth will have to raise a youth among themselves. Nobody will, see, anybody that come out of any party, you are wasting your time. You need to raise somebody from your midst. That is the and pray. See, people go to church, they pray. People go to mosque, they pray. But they are not ready to work things out. Before you say, so help me God, make sure your capabilities is, the capability is there. And you don't need to tell that candidate to pay you during election. That is where your problem is coming from. You have to raise somebody. See, all the Nigerian youths, all they need to do is to make sure that you buy the ticket for that person. Say you that contribute to buy a ticket, you will need, do you need that person to come and pay back to you? No. No. The youths of this, if not, I'm telling you, there will be no youth at some point again. Shebi, you are here now, you can do your thing. And let me tell you something, most of your celebrities, this thing is calculated, that they are promoting are the ones that continue to distract you and keep your head down and your legs up. Those are the ones that they will give that publicity to. People that promote frivolities so that they can distract you. Geopolitically, a lot of Nigerians don't know what is going on, but they know what is going on the distractive end of things. A lot of people watched football yesterday. You know the scores of this, you know. This thing is distractions. The security situation of this country now, of this country, it's a situation where the president, if you are the president of this country, you need to have all your, like, all capabilities need to be on ground right now, and you need to be talking to the citizens in real time, telling them the truth, telling them the Sahelian leaders are young. Thank you. How much energy do you think all these 87, 89 people, how much energy do you think they have again? You can see that Ibrahim Traore has it. When you see them walking, just their walking steps alone, you know that these people, they are full of energy. And Nigerians have intelligent people. Intelligence won't kill Nigerians. Intelligence won't kill Nigerians. Like, Nigerians and intelligence. See, if you have one honest Nigerian that is ready to combat all these problems, I'm telling you, when it comes to thinking out of the box and even within the box to solve a problem, Nigerians are extremely dangerous. But they've used different type of, you know, maneuvers to make sure that they suppress that capability of Nigerians. All Nigerians are intelligent until you bring religion and tribalism. Once you bring those two things to them, everybody in Nigeria becomes everything is over. The globalist is already celebrating. Just give them religion and give them tribalism. It's over. Okay, let me tell you this, right? There is a different type of warfare called the social media warfare, right? Have Nigerians even launched the social media warfare campaign? Do you think it's until you carry a gun that you are launching warfare on somebody? You can perplex and choke somebody on the media to make them do what they are supposed to do. But no, they are not there. No, they want to go and comment on what is happening in TikTok. This person just went to do plastic surgery. He just went to do bots. He just went to do this one. This one just bought iPhone XR and converted it to 17. That is what they are interested in. That 200, that 200 in Ghana, they are already, yes, they are already taking the forest. See, this thing is easy. Nigerians, Nigerians have that power. I don't know. When you hear that Nigeria is the giant of Africa, it's not about the resources of Nigeria. It's that population. And for the globalist agenda to become fully established in Africa, they need to depopulate that Nigerian population. They need to crush that population. So if you think the agenda is Muslim against Christian, you are lying to yourself. The agenda is to neutral, to make sure that they devastate that population to the point where the ones that will be remaining are just like, you know, the ones that will be trying to live, to exist, just to breathe. So now that you still have that capability, you better start using it, such that when somebody goes against the interests of the Nigerians, you choke that person. Like, there is a way you can mentally paralyze somebody on the social media. But Nigerians they're not ready for that. In Burkina Faso, they asked for volunteers. 90,000 showed up instantaneously. Absolutely. Absolutely. 90,000. 90,000 showed up. That's in Kenya. That's in Burkina Faso. 90,000. Nigerian government said they needed 24,000. Nobody, just few people showed up. Few. Now they said they will mobilize you either by hook or by crook once you are 18 and above. Mobilize them to do what? The security situation of the country does not even need you to mobilize people into the military at this point, because the structure is compromised. The structure is compromised. First of all, there must be honesty and there must be accountability. See, to get the allegiance and solidarity of Nigerians is not hard at all. First of all is to give Nigerians a leader. And it is not within any of these criminals that you people are looking at now as Nigerians. Nigerians, I'm warning you, it is not within all this Peter Obi and Atiku and all of these people. You need somebody that you've not even seen before. Somebody that you've never ever know. A honest person. And that person does not have to be a lamb that they want to sacrifice. It has to be a goat. Somebody that they tell that, go, you know what happened to Lumumba, that will tell them, okay, I know what happened to Lumumba and I'm ready. And somebody that must be ready to inform Nigerians. Information is key. You need somebody that is very, very quick to inform Nigerians that this is what is going on. You think I want to block, as a president, I want to block somebody from escaping now. You think I need the security to block the person? I will tell Nigerians to look for that person for me. They will find the person. Do you know how many Nigerians you have? All over the world, not even within Nigeria alone, not even in Africa. The population of Nigerians in Ghana alone. So when they say Nigerians are giants, is that population they are looking at. And for Bill Gates that is like a forever living project for Bill Gates. Reduce that population to the ground. Beat that population to nothing. And let me tell you something. This is a fight for the black people. It's a fight for the existence of the black community. Every other community that comes and try to, once somebody comes and the first thing that person tells you is to introduce religion, run away from that person. Once you see anybody of any skin that tries to advise you about how to get out of this problem, and the first thing the person is telling you, Peter Obi is too weak for this fight. He won't have that. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. See, to handle Nigeria, you need To handle Nigeria, you need somebody that is decisive. You need somebody that is ready to crush anything. So all these ones at the top that you are looking at, all of them, ADC. They say this person, article has gone out in ADC. You have El-Rufai defecting to another party. Is it not the same people revolving around the whole place? And let me tell you something. Peter Obi cannot govern Nigeria. He doesn't have the card. He doesn't. If he enters, he's still a very good option, but he doesn't have the card. He doesn't have that card. He doesn't have that. He doesn't see. For you to govern Nigeria, you have to have that spirit. That violence has to be there. You have to have it in the bank. You know what Ibrahim Traore said when he bought weapons recently? He said, "I didn't buy these weapons to be there. You have to wage war with this weapon. For us to have peace, we have to wage war." So when he handed over the key, he said, "So wage war so that we can have peace." Does Peter Obi have that kind of mindset? Nigerians are trying to be politically correct. Let's be honest with ourselves. You want to govern a country of over 300 million people. You think you have to come out and speak English, and you need somebody whose humanity goes beyond every other thing. To protect Nigerians should be a priority. So, but as a president of Nigeria, if you hear that a Nigerian is affected in let's say Libya, right? Let's say Libya. You should be deploying all type of capabilities. Like, Libya should know that, yeah, hell is coming. This one that they say they have open air slave trade and whatsoever there. Hell is coming. One Nigerian is there. No. I'm telling you, your airspace, like, you must bring back that Nigerian without a scratch. You must, as in. But you now hear now they kidnap they kidnap how many girls? I'm telling you, if you kidnap one, I'm not even talking about 10. Now you're having 30 something. Now you're having 100. You're having this one girls. No. See, you just know how bad things are. And still, Nigeria is still a very, very strong and strategic country in the whole of this mess. And it's not because of your resources, it's because of that population of Nigeria. And you as the leader, do you know how proud you should be to be the leader of over? If I am the president of Nigeria, I will be begging them to even give birth to more children. We need that population. You should be responsible as a leader to even have Nigeria. China is how many? There are billions there. India is billions. But Nigeria is less than 400 million, and somebody is saying our population is a problem. Nigeria needs a decisive leader. And a leader that will come and declutter the military and rebuild it again. Because that military, everything in this country, look, there must be a reconciliation of that country first. This country is not together. So you need a leader that will first of all come and reconcile everybody. Such that these people are not speaking for these people's interest. And no, you have to make it a country first. And to make it a country, some people has to be apologized to. Everybody has to be apologized to within the country. Then you bring it together. Then you bring credible hands that can work. You bring people based on competence, not because of your tribe or your religion. Nigeria has a lot of quality. They have a lot of tools in the toolbox. But because you have one politician sitting somewhere and making calls that my candidate is coming, that is why this country is in this place. To an extent where you have some people dealing with lives of people and they cannot even spell their names. That's how bad it is. But still, I will say this, Nigeria still remains a giant, and that is because of that population. It's not because of gold in one place or oil in one place. It's not. Burkinabe youths are already building drones. They are already building a lot of capability. And oh God, see, the problem of Nigeria is something that can be solved. And if Nigerians are looking to solve their problem in 2027, Nigerians need to stand together. And Nigerians think that, you see, that's the problem. The problem is that Nigerians think that somebody has to reconcile them, or somebody has to bring Nigeria together, or you people can do it within. Nigeria is the youth of Nigeria. So you think you need to tell somebody now to now form you into a bunch? No. Reconciliation starts with you. How do you see your neighbor? How do you see your neighbor? How do you see the next person to you? When somebody moves negatively, how do you address the situation? With love, with care. How do you show the next person to you love? What advice do you tell a beggar on the street after you've given money to that beggar? He has his hands, he has his legs, everything is working. What advice did you give to him? Even though you don't have the capability to give him a job, what did you advise? Did you tell him to continue begging? So Nigerians must come to, they need to wake up. Nigerians still have that decisive effect. Nigeria still has that power, that temerity before it is gone. You see, that word guns are blazing. I'm telling you. That word guns are blazing. It is, you see, that population, to Nigeria is a positive, right? To them, that population is a problem. And the reason why that population is a problem is because that population is like, it's like a challenge to them. Nigeria's population is almost like the population of the United States. So, and by the calculation of Bill Gates, they continue to reproduce, and it's a young population. So calculate it by the next. So calculate it. See, one person can give birth to like how many children? Then calculate the tree. So they are drawing it like, they are doing it like a branch to root to trunk to this thing. So they are looking at it that what will this country become in the next also year, right? So imagine that you are transparent. Imagine that you are able to improve the purchasing power of that population, right? Imagine that you can improve the purchasing power of that population. Imagine that that population is educated. Imagine the effect it will have. And that is what should be happening in every other country, instead of somebody to be lying to you. To be lying to you that your population is a problem. Your population is not a problem. You need that. See, your existence depends on this population, because the agenda of the globalists is to completely neutralize the black community. In Africa, Africa is the richest continent. But if you like, keep staying on that. You need, your existence is very, very important at this point. And it's good that we have people in diaspora too. Let that African identity continue to multiply to a point where it becomes undeniable. But at the same time, education is important for that population. And that is the problem we have in the North. A problem of continuous demographic improvement, but the education aspect is out of the picture. And the only way that status quo can be changed is you need a leader, like I said, and I've said it to a lot of people. You see, Peter Obi is not corrupt, but he doesn't have that decisive card to say that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it for the sake of the Nigerians. And it takes every necessary action in the book to make sure that that thing works. We're not talking about a president that will be like, okay, because I am this person, if they want to do it like this in this certain region, I will let them do it like that because I am not from there. No. The problem, see, like I said, your security is the integrity of your security is equivalent to the integrity of your neighbor. So when I talk about the situation in the Sahel, I'm telling you, I'm equally helping Nigerians. I'm equally speaking for you, because you can see it escalated from Libya down to Niger, down to Burkina Faso to now. Imagine let me tell you something. Whatever you are seeing in the Sahel now has been there. It's like a structural build-up. It has been there. The only reason it came out full, see, the plan is to have this capacity, right? They built this capacity for a long time because they know a time like this is coming. And luckily for the Sahel, they something happened to them miraculously, and these leaders came out. Okay, I think poverty took the Sahel to that realization. Life was really so bad for them that something, you know, for even every time you have a revolution in this world, right? The situation has to be very hopeless for people to wake up. You understand? So imagine the type of capability they have in Nigeria. So how many do you have in Nigeria? You have IS Sahel, you have EIGS, you have JNIM, right? But in Nigeria, right, you have bandits. Now, when you hear the word bandit, it's not one group. Oh. They have different fashions, oh, right? In Nigeria, you have Jazz, you have Boko Haram, right? I've mentioned ISWAP, right? And I can guarantee now there's JNIM in Nigeria now. There are still several different groups you have, but they have not come out. There are still sleeper cells. Do you understand what I'm saying? They still have sleeper cells. Now they've now been able to infiltrate some key positions. Some key positions where, see, in Nigeria now what you now have is a syndicate. So if the fight, the only reason why the objective in the Sahel before was not to confront the Sahel. No, the objective was let's keep going. You see what Ibrahim Traore said? They said we want this war to continue, right? We will give you weapon, we'll give them weapon, we'll give you weapon. So they want to keep, like, let's just keep going. But the moment everything is set and they know, okay, we can overrun and out maneuver these people, that's when they will come, and at that time everything will be powerless. But I can tell you, Nigeria still has that edge now. They would have been seriously emboldened. They are not still yet fully emboldened now. So Nigeria still have that card. And if you look at the type of killings that is going on, right? The only reason why this situation is different from that of Sudan is because they've completed that objective in Sudan. You have Arabs in Sudan. You see that the Arabs, they are not being touched in Sudan. The Arabs are not being touched, but it's the black community that they are wiping out. You see, genocide against the black population is in Sudan, right? In Nigeria, you have one very I don't know, I don't want to use a bad language here. You have one person from the Maghreb or the Arab country saying he wants to vie for a position in Abuja. It's structural. They start saying it gradually. And at some point, you start seeing people that will be covering their nose and covering their head. When those people come to the actualization of their objective, you will know that, yes, there was a security alert that was given out recently of, as a Nigerian talking to me, as a Nigerian in this live session, you self, you know that the safety is not like it's supposed to be, right? It's not like this before. It has always not been like this, but this is not even the end stage. But Nigeria still have that card. There is still education. The level of education is still in Nigeria, but there is a lot of manipulation and infiltration along the line. But Nigerians still have that opportunity now. Nigerians still have that opportunity. Don't let somebody lie to you that see, Nigeria is like that country that is giving them that is reminding them of that Libyan temerity to say they wanted. Libya wanted to unify the whole of Africa to rule the world. So the population of Nigeria is giving them that vibe that, man, those people could actually, they could do something. So before they do something, it's better we start stepping them down gradually. And that is why you hear that these people, they will destroy the mosque, they will destroy the church. Go and look at it now. There was a point they shot back to a certain level. Grrr. The bullet was completely spent. They now took they took an RPG launcher, right? They started cracking people's. I posted it on Telegram. Those are on our Telegram channel. You saw it, right? They started using RPG launcher to smash the people's head and just make sure, right? Because the objective is to depopulate. And those that are helping them, they've been manipulated. They are used as like they've been used as like tools, right? But when the objective is complete, even the tools will get neutralized. So the objective is to depopulate them. So anybody that comes to you, right? So who is winning in Nigeria? Fulani or South Africans? I don't understand. Who is winning in Nigeria? Looking at the situation right now and looking at how much of the saboteurs you have in the position of power, I think nobody is actually winning right now. You can't call it a win from anyone. The citizens are not winning. That is why they continue to travel out of the country. The only people that are winning in Nigeria right now are like the politicians, and they are not winning because at the end of the day, when the mission is completed, everybody will lose. But that is why I'm begging the Nigerians, because they still carry that power. Nigeria has not been infiltrated to a point where they are completely useless. You understand? Nigerians still have that power to change the reality. But when it gets to a point where their capability is no longer useful, and you can see that gradually they are coming to that point. You vote, your votes don't count a certain way, you get that kind of thing. You saw how the Madagascans were able to. It cannot happen in Nigeria because in Nigeria now, you now have different type of capability. You have both the conventional troops and the non-conventional troops. A lot of people don't understand what this thing is all about, right? But just soonest. Now they've now taken it from the normal kinetic. Now they are now even their capability has gone to the media too. So that's why you will see that somebody will say the truth on social media. You have so many bot accounts, you have so many accounts of these infiltrators. They will try to destabilize the person. But like I said, Nigeria still has that too. The earlier they use it, Nigerians still have power. Nigerians go are the people that have the power. But the earlier they use that power, the better. Nigerians still have power. Nigerians still have the capability to, without weapon, to make life unbearable for any type of person they want to make it unbearable for. But it's just, it's Pan-African revolution. It's Pan-African revolution. You have to be Pan-Africanist. You have to, and to be honest, to be transparent, to be accountable, to be honest, is for you to honor your ancestors. To be honest to those that are living around you is to be honest to your ancestors. It's just a very sorry case. But what will I say? But until everybody realizes the truth, and they do something for themselves. You know, I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a politician because, you know, I don't know how to. I don't know how to be political. I only know how to be decisive and effective. So that's why I'm not meant for, you know, the political system you're even talking about was given to you by the West. So for you to practice that, for you to be a politician, it means you have to be politically correct. It means you have to be calm. It means you have to be, you know, I can't be a politician. My nature, I am that of an enforcer, right? And I'm that of, like, whatever I enforce, I'm trying to, and I'm an informer, right? Like the political system we have, right? You can see that Ibrahim Traore is enforcing and is informing. He's enforcing and he's informing. If you look at what President Duma of Botswana said, right? He said, whatever Ibrahim Traore says is law and order. As long as and he's keeping the people informed. So the people are backing him up. Ibrahim Traore's security is not the soldiers you are saying, right? It's his people. You can see that the Burkinabes even mounted roadblock by themselves. They sleep along. When you want to go to that president, you see them there, right? That is how much they are ready to protect their leader. Who in Nigeria want to go and sleep on the road of this thing? Who wants to go and sleep there, right? Look at the way the soldiers of the Sahel, the way they relate with their civilians. So if a Nigerian convoy is coming now, a convoy of Nigerian troops, if you try to jump on the road, my God, you are already a threat. You are seen as a threat instantaneously. So, you know, I know Obi is different, right? Peter Obi is a good leader. He's a good leader, but the problem is this, right? He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that aggression to execute his objective, right? He doesn't. Peter Obi is nice. He's very, very. He's, you know. Peter Obi is like, you know, he wants to be, you know, he wants to be appreciated. He's a good man. I'm not talking about, for you to, if you look at Ibrahim Traore, when he has to be decisive, he's decisive. When you look at Goita, does this man look like people that play? You don't have to be nice for the imperialists to leave you alone. You cannot be nice. This is not, our problem is not a problem of us. Our problem is a problem that was initiated by somebody that is not us. Now they control people within us. That is now suppressing us for the people that are not us. Do you get what I'm saying? Peter Obi is obedient, he's too calm, right? Look at how they got Jonathan out of power, right? A color revolution. And the code was what? Change was the code word. So what are you changing to? Nigerians did not know what they were changing to. He doesn't have the dog in him. Thank you, that's the language. Peter Obi is good. He's a good man. But he doesn't have that dog. You think if the presidents in the Sahel, if the leaders, if they were civilians, if they did not have that dog in them, do you think the pressure that they are putting on them by these colonialists, do you think, before you start seeing these colonialists come out to even show their face, it is because they saw that, man, even our machineries alone cannot change the status quo. That's why you now see them coming out from the media from different angles. You saw what Assimi Goita did recently. They were doing a lot of things to make him speak. He was quiet. He knows them. They have even begged him to betray the remaining two countries. Now imagine if the whole African continent is united. Infiltration to one is infiltration to all. Because do we even have borders in Africa? Do we have borders? Do we have boundaries? The only people that know, civilians think that Nigeria is a different country from Ghana. Civilians think that Nigeria is different from Benin and Togo. You walk from one country to another, nobody is going to stop you. You can walk. Go and find out very well. The only people that know that you can walk from one territory to another territory are the jihadists. Only the terrorists know that borders don't exist, but to a civilian that is reading books, you believe that borders exist. So insecurity to one is insecurity to all. That is why you heard that when the Beninese forces, when they called Ibrahim Traore, that the situation was escalating, and the jihadists, about, was it 700 of them, they were advancing on the military camp. The soldiers were seriously outnumbered, and they would have been completely overrun, like completely perplexed. They called Traore. He sent vectors immediately. You remember what he said? He said to the military. He said to the military, every threat is taken as top priority. Doesn't matter even if it's, Nigeria should have come to a point. Nigeria should have come to a point where if everything was to be normal, Nigeria should be deploying air vectors to go and stop even escalations beyond their territory. That's how powerful the true identity of Nigeria is. But that identity has been bastardized into the ground. Nigeria should be that powerful and decisive to the point that there is escalation in Benin. And because you know that a complete breakdown of order when it comes to what insecurity can do, right? Nigeria should send air vectors, like go and make sure you stop this problem now before it escalates and gets into the country. Because if one is compromised, everybody is compromised. So, yeah, Peter Obi is not decisive. He doesn't have that dog in him. He's a nice man. We are not denying it. Peter Obi is he's an innocent man. He's a nice man. He's a decent man, right? But Peter Obi cannot bring out Peter Obi does not have Peter Obi does not have that he doesn't have that Peter Obi doesn't have that he doesn't have that decisiveness to change the situation on the ground right now. He can't do it. He can't do it. You need someone whose aggression is equivalent to the aggression of the intruders. That is what you need. Somebody who can decisively even be quiet. His silence alone can shut out the intruders, because whatever we have going on now is intruders, right? They said this problem of terrorism was in the north. Now it's in the south. Now it's in every state, every place in the whole country. It's everywhere. So, and you see, the mainstream media, like I said, was created for the interest of the deep state. If you look at the journalists in this mainstream media, the way they ask questions, the way they do the things they do, you can see that even when they ask questions, when you're trying to now talk about the deep affair, they change the conversation. So, that is what it is. So, at this point, everybody has to contribute to this fight. Everybody. By you saying the truth on the social media, you are contributing to the fight. By you telling a terrorist apologist that you are a terrorist, that pressure alone, you are fighting. Everybody thinks a fight is when you go kinetic, but you don't even know that the one on the media, it disorganizes you more than the one you do on the line of contact. It started with the fall of Libya, and everybody did not pay attention. In fact, you have a lot of African countries even celebrating it then because we were not exposed. They kept us in the dark. Imagine what would have happened in the Sahel if we were not in the internet age, where you can easily access the truth. When that Michael Langley said the leader of Burkina Faso was trying to use his gold to protect himself, I got into Pan-Africanism when I heard that. That was the statement that brought me into the Pan-African world. I was not, you know. So it's not Peter. It's not. Look, whoever the president of Nigeria is going to be, it's not going to be that person against whoever. No, it's not an internal dispute. The real source of Nigeria's problem is external. It's external. But it's a well-structured thing. So they will use internal this thing to, you know, further destabilize, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, Africans are beginning to have media sovereignty. That's what I would tell you. You know, media sovereignty is not when you have it's not just when you have a platform. It's not when you have a platform to be able to speak, right? You can gain media sovereignty within yourself. Now, what do I mean? Media sovereignty can come. Media sovereignty was something that you saw in the Sahel recently when they said Mali was under fuel blockade, and you saw how people started debunking that narrative with different facts. And now you can see that they have now started inviting the Malian representatives to their mainstream medias to come and tell them about the real situation. But they were trying to build a narrative before. So media sovereignty is when you choose, right, who you listen to. It's like you giving yourself freedom. Who you listen to. You come with facts. Look, okay, I'm the one that hosted this life, right? But the people that are listening to me, most of you have facts. Most of you even know what I'm talking about beyond what I've thought, beyond where I've gotten to. That is when you say you have sovereignty. Sovereignty is like you are aware. The people in the Sahel, they are aware. That's sovereignty. They are aware of the root cause of this problem and they are addressing it. That is sovereignty. When they say you have mineral sovereignty, you have sovereignty over your mineral. It's not just when you say it is my own, leave it there. No, you know the power of that mineral. You know the enormous transformation that that mineral can give to your people. And you are now, what you're now thinking about is you want to be able to exploit the capability of that mineral to change the lives of your people. You can use it for the right purpose. That is sovereignty. Libya once had sovereignty. It was not because Libya could not be infiltrated, but because Libya had a leader that knows the capability of Libya. First of all, you have to realize the capability of your people. Then you now realize the capability of the land itself. Then you now empower your people. How do you become a strong nation? Is it by stealing from the nation? No. It's by empowering the people of that nation. It's a collective thing. And that is how you become a strong nation. Reducing the power of the capitalists in such a way that one person cannot absolutely get corrupted and, you know, marginalize every other person. No. No. And when they talk about land redistribution, right? Land redistribution should not just exist in South Africa. Land redistribution should exist in the entire African continent. One of the reasons why we have This problem we have right now is that there are too many territories without people, and these are the places where these infiltrators where they use, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'll be drawing the curtain. Later at night, we'll be back. Um, Around 8 p.m. I'll be back for the next live session. I really want to appreciate 8 p.m. Nigerian time. I'll be back for another live session. I really want to appreciate you. It's very, very nice that we are speaking, and I'm really, really impressed, and I really appreciate everybody. Um, at some point, we'll start having our TikTok session. I have a TikTok account that I was using for a different objective before. And you know, I said, like I told everybody on this community, that I was not in the Pan-African community before. I was in a different community until I saw what was happening in the Sahel, and I felt like, okay, I could help in a way. I could help somehow, right? And that was what brought me into the Pan-African community. So sometimes we'll have our session on TikTok because I want to hear the real-time opinion of everybody in the Android community. So it will be a blessing to have you all back. So thank you. By 8 p.m. I'll see you all. I really appreciate you. Bye bye.